Destiny still feels really great. If you don't know, Destiny 2 launched in the fall of 2017 from Bungie, so it's 6 years old at this point. And at its core, this is kind of it. It's a first-person shooter and action game, and they really nail that formula. It's kind of hard to compare it to other shooters. I really think when you talk about sort of how good things feel moment to moment, how good it feels to pull a trigger, how good it feels for the rounds to come out, for them to impact their target. You know, when you throw a grenade, when you throw a shield, when you get those hit markers, I think the only other franchise that's kind of competing with Destiny in the same league is probably Call of Duty in terms of gun mechanics and gun feel. So yeah, this is kind of the core of Destiny. You run around, you shoot bad guys, you do missions, you do PvP, you do PvE. It's kind of really up to you to decide how you want to engage with a lot of the content. But aside from the FPS and action side of Destiny, the systems all around it, the trappings all around it are of a massively multiplayer game or an MMO. So it is a game as a service or a live game. Some people call it their space chores, whatever you want to call it, but that's what it is. Bungie nails a lot of things in their games. The FPS action, the look and feel of their cool enemies, but they also make really pretty levels and skyboxes. I often just find myself just staring at a new map or just staring off into the distance at a skybox because everything just looks so incredible and the world is so well realized. I started playing Destiny 2 during the Shadowkeep expansion in late 2019, and it really got its hooks into me. So I played a ton of it at the time. And I think it wasn't until maybe late 2020, so maybe a year later or early 2021 during the Beyond Light expansion that I kind of started to fall off a bit. And I think it's because, after a while you kind of start to grind up against some of those MMO systems and you may feel like you are just kind of grinding and you're not really sure why you're still playing. However, Destiny is one of those games that is best enjoyed with other friends and other people. The matchmaking is really great in it though, so you can just quickly join other players in strikes, or which are the PvE content, or the Crucible, which is the more traditional PvP. I also like Gambit, which is sort of a PvP-VE competition. But again, if you have friends that play Destiny, it's always best just to chill out on a voice call with them and shoot some space aliens. If you really want to simplify things, Destiny is a game where the action feels good and you make the numbers go up. You are grinding for gear, and that gear all has scores. For the most part, they all have randomly applied stats, so you're looking for good drops and good rolls for that gear as well. And at the end of the day, you just kind of want to make your overall power level go up with your gear. And that can be a really compelling and really simple loop. And it obviously keeps a ton of players engaged around the world. Like I find the times where I get really frustrated with Destiny or I get a little bit burned out is just when I'm playing too much in a week. So I think it's fine just to go in and check in on it every now and then. The really interesting thing about Destiny is that if, like me, you've lapsed or you've taken a bit of time away from the game and you come back, it's still very much the same, yet everything is completely different. They've retired a bunch of old content. They've introduced a ton of new stuff. I've been playing through the Witch Queen expansion and Lightfall, which have both been fairly enjoyable. The new content that they've added has been really compelling. It's still Destiny, though, at its core, so you can really just kind of jump into it and you feel like you haven't lost a beat. I think the other really cool thing with Destiny is that aesthetically it is really appealing. I've never been a big fantasy person. I've always kind of leaned more towards science fiction, but Destiny is not really either of those things. It's more space fantasy. It's kind of a blend of the two. I think, huge credit to their team and their artists and everyone else that worked on just the look and feel of the world and the characters and everything else. They've made something that is truly unique and really, really compelling, to the point that I always just enjoy being in this world, even if I'm not doing too much or if I'm not quote unquote progressing in the way that I need to be. I just love hanging out in this world. I will say though that you can sometimes feel a little bit lost when jumping back into a season or a new expansion, but at the end of the day, new activities and events are usually easy to figure out, or you can quickly find a guide to get you up to speed. Honestly though, you can just jump in, and if you follow your teammates, you can usually figure it out. If you're more into the lore of Destiny and its ever-expanding lore, you can always catch up on that by watching some YouTube videos. I'd recommend going and checking out Bife. I'll link that in the description. But there's just always so much to do and so much to see every time they roll out a new expansion. It's kind of interesting because I feel like if you have been playing Destiny consistently for the last 6 years and playing it every week, it may seem much the same or maybe even stale at times. But again, taking a bit of a longer break away from the game and coming back to a brand new expansion, or like in my case, 2 new expansions, it feels totally new and refreshing. And there's so many new secrets and things to discover. They've completely overhauled new systems. I love what they've done with the mods, just easily allowing yourself to equip loadouts. All of that has been really, really fantastic. I think my favorite new addition, though, is this commendation system where you can commend players after, a PvE strike or a PvP Crucible match on your team, and it kind of incentivizes you to give like a kudos or a thumbs up to your teammates, because you can also get gear rewards for that as well, which is really, really fun. I'd also say that there's no shame in going and looking up builds online for Destiny. That's what I've done here with this solar build. With the mods I have and the exotic that I have equipped, I can just generate a ton of radiant damage and a bunch of grenades much faster than you normally could, and it's made fights so much more enjoyable. 2 quick suggestions: if you haven't played Destiny in a while, use some of the third-party apps that are out there. It'll really make your experience a lot more enjoyable, or a lot more efficient and sort of seamless. The one that most people will probably know is Destiny Item Manager. There's a desktop client version, there's a web version, and you can even download an app for your phone. And what that allows you to do is pull items to your character from your inventory, and vice versa, from anywhere in the game, or even when you're offline. So if I'm like, oh shoot, I need a submachine gun for this bounty that I need to do today, I can very quickly search in my inventory for submachine gun. With a click of a button, it's in my loadout. The other suggestion I'll make is you can grab the official Destiny 2 app, so you can pick up bounties from any NPC vendor as long as you're in orbit or if you're offline. And that just means you save so much time going to the tower or going to a specific location to grab bounties that you need before you get into an activity. I'll definitely be making more Destiny videos in the future because I'm having so much fun with it, and I can see myself just kind of regularly playing it in the coming weeks and months, especially as the latest expansion is coming out in February, so I kind of want to get ready for that. So that's the final shape. I think that's coming late February. But yeah, I'm at this point now where I'm just kind of playing through a lot of the old content, quote-unquote old, so from the last 2 expansions, and just kind of catching up on some of the seasonal activities, getting my power level up, finding new exotics, finding new gear. I really need new armor. I don't have enough resilience on this armor right now, so PvE content is a little bit harder than it should be for me. It's just, Destiny's so much fun right now. It's hard to put it into words sometimes. It is, again, just a really solid FPS action game in a really cool science fantasy world, and you shoot things and make the numbers go up. And sometimes that's all you need. All right, I'll see you next time, Guardians.